Ndị be anyị ekene m unu ọzọ na n'ụbọchị uhuruchi tata daalụ nne nnukwu si wee na-esoro anyị anyị na-eme n'ihu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa na Eastern News 24. Anyị sikwa nke echiri ya zero, anyị si ndị be anyị ya dịrị na mma, anyị unu ga-adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ, otu anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị ise ise ise. Tata dịka unu na-esore, tata bụ 23 of December 2023. I will find with the n'iru akwụkwọ anyị na-akpọkwa ya morning tea. Yes, ka anyị na-akpọkarị ya. O nwere ihe Biafran Prime Minister kwugasị n'iru akwụkwọ dị iche iche, ma chọọ ka onye ọbụla na-alaiki nwere onwe, ọbụlakwa iwu ọbụla na-alaiki ya anyị na-eme n'iru akwụkwọ ga-egodo ya bụ ife ọfụma ọfụma. Ị ga-esi ya achọrọ m ịka mmọnwụ n'iru mmọnwụ, ị ga-esi ya bụ ife kabarụ drọpụrụ anyị kọmentị gị ife ichere n'ije gị n'ugbu a. If a new announcement from the Biafran Prime Minister. All right, over to you, sir.
Tomorrow and next tomorrow, Biafra land will be under lock and key. I want everyone to understand there is no celebration without freedom. You have celebrated for decades, yet you are being killed like chicken every day. Until now. You have celebrated for many, many years, yet you cannot go back home like you used to go, even before the emergence of Simona and Biafra government in exile. You have been terrorized by Nigeria security agents, terrorists in uniform, for many decades. If it is not you, it is your siblings. If it's not your siblings, it is your extended family. I remember one of our brother who went home from Germany a few years ago for Christmas. He was killed on his way to the airport. I remember some of our Oduduwa brothers who came back from the United States. They were murdered in their hotel room in Lagos. I remember also one of our brothers from Edo State who came for Christmas. He was kidnapped and killed by the Fulani terrorists. There are many of them, but I'm just mentioning prominent ones, those ones that have affected their society positively. They were killed by either the Nigerian army or the terrorist Fulanis. And now we are engaging them man to man. We are engaging them iron to iron, gun to gun, bullet to bullet, bomb to bomb, and whatever they bring, we will engage them with that. The reason why you must sit at home tomorrow, which continues for the second phase, is in protest for the Islamic status of Nigeria without your consent. 2, even though they have decided to change Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court judgment, we will continue to use this particular sit at home to demand his release and to continue to call the subconsciousness of Biafrans not to forget Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 3 is to continue to prepare the mind of Biafrans that we are about to go home. The days of declaration of Biafra is fast approaching. And we are training you to be mentally strong. The reason, again, is that you don't prefer us to be throwing bombs at each other with the Nigeria terrorist state than the particular approach we are using at this point, which is the guerrilla warfare. I don't think you will prefer bomb being thrown in your market than this sit at home, because that is the second phase or the second choice you have. If you would prefer us to go into conventional war because we are ready for anything, if that is what you expect us to do, Then we'll go into conventional war. You will not even have a place to go to do business, not to talk of sit at home. But because we have considered that that is not an option at this point, until it becomes the only option. But for now, we will not give Nigeria a chance to engage us in conventional warfare, because we have thought about it, we thought about you, and that is what we have decided, that the only way to keep the spirit alive and to continue to make history, to prove to the world how serious and resolute you are to get your freedom, sit at home must continue. Every Monday, in addition to that, every now and then, whenever the opportunity calls and whenever there is need for us to have extra sit at home, just like this particular one that is coming, we are going to call for it. The reason why we are sitting at home tomorrow and next tomorrow is to protest Nigeria Islamic State status without the consent of Christians, without the consent of Biafrans, without the consent of other religious group. And because they have guns, they have weapons, and they have bullets, they have succeeded to manipulate their way into becoming officially Islamic State of Nigeria. And some idiot are there shouting about Christmas. What do you know about Christmas? What do you know about Christmas? I remember in those days when we were kids, we used to celebrate Christmas. We used to celebrate Christmas. In 1999, when the so-called democracy came back to the zoo, when Obasanjo became the president, some of us didn't know anything else. That what we wanted to know is that, oh, a Christian has become the president. Now we have Obasanjo, he's a Christian. I don't know how many of you listening to me this evening on Space actually remembered this, that it was a big thing in our different schools in those days. They say, who is the president of Nigeria in 1999? They say Obasanjo is not the president, he's a Christian. Now, oh, everybody was celebrating it. Now we have Christian president. As far back as then, we're able to fight between Christians and Muslims. Today, it is no longer about just talking in primary school or secondary school. It is now guns and bullets that is talking for them. Some of you have been caged using religion that you shouldn't defend yourself. That is what we are doing today. We will defend you to the last. The Biafra government has taken that responsibility. You can never be forced into Islamic State of Nigeria. And I am aware that the military are sick and tired of fighting against the Biafra Liberation Army. But those who don't know how to use gun are the one pushing them. Well, if they push you and you come to Biafra land, like many of you that are in Biafra land today, to kill Biafrans, believe me, my job is to make sure that you never leave Biafra land alive. The years of killing is over. I continue to say it. Biafra people can never suffer what Kaduna people have suffered in the hand of Nigeria army. Biafra people can never again suffer what Biafra have suffered in Nigeria army until 2021. The game has changed. Biafra can never suffer those things again. The killings, humiliation, atrocities, the genocide against our people before Simona became the prime minister. It can never happen again. Because now it is gone for gone. Our gun is against you. So my reason for coming to this space this evening is to educate our people to understand the importance of the sit at home. You know, they tell you, You have been sitting at home for 2 years. Oh, did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out? It is not just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming out. Is your Biafra struggle about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming out? It is one of the reasons for what we are doing today. One of many, many reasons. The most important thing is that you continue to remain resolute to show that indeed the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not defeated you. And today you have proven that. So whenever they come to tell you, you have been sitting at home for 2 years and nothing, tell them there is something. The reason why Nigeria is crying today is not just about the gun we are shooting. It's not just about neutralizing the Nigeria terrorist army, which we are doing, the Biafra Liberation Army is doing. It is because we are strangling them economically, strangling them militarily, strangling them otherwise. That is why they are crying. We are holding them, fighting them from all fronts. The economic front, the military front, and every other front. We are dealing with them. The most important thing in this sit at home is the delegitimization of the people that represent Nigeria within Biafra land. The delegitimization of governors. There is no other way to delegitimize governors than this sit at home. Because they have been fighting the sit at home since 2021. We have defeated them. We defeat them democratically. We defeat them militarily. We defeat them in any angle. So when you sit at home, you have delegitimized the governors. They are crying. They will not cry in the public, but I watch their crime or their cry in the mirror every day. They cry. For the past few days, they have been having meeting. How to approach Simona, how to negotiate with Simona. I am saying it openly this evening on this space. I am not open for negotiation. And no Biafra person serving under Biafra government is open for negotiation. If I hear that you are talking to anybody back home, you are out of the government. Our talk with them will start by pulling the military out of Biafra street. Our talk with them will start when we see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu walking freely out of the DSS dungeon. That is the term and condition of negotiation. Nobody. If I hear kepu that anybody within the Biafra government in exile or de facto government is listening or discussing with anybody as a Nigerian representative, you are out. And once you are out, I will invoke the spirit of Biafra to deal with you. Because we're not just going to allow you to just go like that. So nobody serving under this government that I'm prime minister is allowed to discuss anything with anybody representing Nigeria. There is no room for negotiation. There is no room for discussion. There is no room to discuss anything. Our discussion is very, very clear. The negotiation, the term and condition for negotiation start by withdrawing the Nigerian military, start by seeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu walking freely from DSS dungeon. Then we are open for negotiation. Apart from that, there is no negotiation. We will give you ×3 of what we have given you before. And this evening, I am calling on Biafrans. It is not necessary you go home this Christmas. Send money to your people. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Don't go home. The Nigeria state terrorists are doing everything to start eliminating our people this December. And it is the responsibility of this government to protect you. And the least we can do is to give you intelligence. If you like, listen to it. If you like, don't. I have given you examples of people that were killed last 2 years. Those who were not even Biafrans. I have given you the example of the person that was killed from Edo State. I'm giving you example of prominent people that Nigeria government using their uniform men killed while they come home for Christmas. The man that was murdered in the hotel room in Lagos is one of them. The prince from Edo State that was killed, kidnapped and killed, was kidnapped almost at the military checkpoint. While going back to Lagos, he was killed. The Biafran that came from Germany to his village was killed on his way back to the airport. These are verifiable facts. The information is there. They have forgotten him. He was killed by police and army in the checkpoint. They have forgotten him. If he did not go back to Biafra land during the Christmas, he will never be killed. And so, the information I have come to give Biafra this evening is that the money you are going to use to travel to village this Christmas, send it to your people and let them live better life this Christmas. For those who are in the village, they know how to defend themselves, they know how to protect themselves, but you don't know how to protect yourself when you go back. Especially against Islamic State of Nigeria. Because this Christmas, when you see all of them mounting the checkpoint, those that have not dismantled yet, the checkpoint is not to check those who are criminals. The checkpoint is to check those coming from abroad, to check Biafrans coming from abroad and those they are going to adopt, because whether you are a Biafra or not, they believe you are funding the liberation of Biafra from diaspora. So you are number one target. If it is not necessary for you to go home, don't go. We don't want to lose you. Not for anything. I want you to understand that our focus must not be distracted. Our target must not be distracted. Our target is to neutralize Nigeria terrorist army and terrorists in uniform until there are no more in Biafra soil. And you must not distract us by channeling our energy, looking how to protect you coming for Christmas. Don't come. Stay where you are. Your people don't need you. They need your money. Send money to them and leave for your people. You don't need to go home. If that our brother who was in Germany, if he did
dịka o si dị ya so nọrọ ya ma egene ya kọrọ nwanne ya dalụ niile na igbo mana ege ntị ka unu sikwe wee wepụta oge unu ige ya bụ ife emeka ikporo nkwa na egene ya dropụrụ n'ọpdeti gbasịta maka ife na-eme n'ala Igbo and gbasịta maka nwere onwe nke a na-azọ dịka ị nụrụ ya bụ ife Biafran Prime Minister kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ a n'ụbọchị nketa bụ 23 of December 2023 gịnị ka ị nwere ike ikwu n'ụdị nke gị dropụọla ya on the comment section below nke dịka ịbịa bụ chetakwa na ihe abụkwa Eastern News 24 ka anyị site wetara nnukwu ozi adị oke ekpo ụmụnne m nke abụọ bụkwa stay safe n'ebe ọ bụla ị nọ. Stay safe is very important. Stay safe. Daalụ ụmụnne m ngwa nke mesịanụ ụmụ Igbo.